just to catch up where we left off on the last video, today I'm going to make a comet class just for the fun of it, so that we can have 4 LEDs travelling along together, and then we'll improve on that. This is where we left off on the last video. So we want to make a 4 LED dropping down. That's only 1 LED, but the camera sees it as multi LEDs. So we want to make 4, and we want to make a class to do this because it's fun and just for the hell of it. And we need to think of what we need in our class. We need to know the number of LEDs in that serial string, and we need to know the size of the comet, how many LEDs will make up the body, and then the colour of the comet. So first of all, we want a header file. So let's go and start a new header file, and we'll call it comet.hpp because it's a C++ one. Quick header 101. If you only want the header to run once, what you do a if not defined, and then you give the name a name, normally your class name or header name. So if it's not defined, we carry on through, and then we define the name. So the next time around it will be defined and it won't go any further. And then right down the bottom we tell it this is the end of that piece. So if it's not defined, it runs down to there and then comes back. If it is defined, it bypasses all that. It goes to the first end if it finds. So that done, we need to define fast LED internal to stop all the silly warnings coming up, and of course we want to include fastleg.h, and then we want to start our class. So we start our class and we call it comet, and we are going to have a private section, one day I'll learn to spell, and a public section. And in the private section we want to have variables. So we're going to have the number of LEDs. We're going to have size, comet size, int color of the comet, and we need an array. Actually, we need an array pointer because we're going to point to an array that's outside the class, and we're going to call it P LED array. Right, and there's our variables. Oh, it's not an int, is it? And we want a byte for fast LED. Right, and in our public, all we're going to do at the moment, we're going to have a constructor, same name as the class. We are going to pass it number of LEDs, capital letter at the front to distinguish the difference in the number of LEDs, the variable and the one we're passing. Comet size, and the byte is going to be color, and then the array. Right, let's get rid of that so you can actually see it all. So that's basically all we need at the moment. So then we go back to here, because in the source we need a new one, and we're going to call it comet CPP. Alright, so what do we want in our comet? Well, again, we need to define internal, keep it quiet, gag it. Need to include fast lead, and we need to include comet. Now for our one. Right, now make life easier. We can go back to there. Copy that. Paste it there. Get rid of that. Now if we move that out of the way again. Here we have to say it's the class, and of course comet means it's a constructor. Then we have number of LEDs equals number of LEDs, comet size equals comet size, color, and P and now we need to draw the comet. And we don't pass anything to it. Still understand why that's not. It's a pointer, isn't it? There we go. Oh yes, and we didn't do the other public one, did we? Draw comet. We're getting there, around the houses, but we're getting there. Right. What do we want to do? Well, we have the head of the comet moves along, so we need to know where the head is, and the head goes from the beginning to the end. So basically what we want to do is we want an index. We're going to call it head position. We'll make it equal to 0. We need to know when to stop. We stop when we get the comet size plus 1 away from the last position. We'll head position is less than to the number of LEDs minus the comet size plus 1. Right, So now I'm going to draw the comet in. So we do a little for loop again. I'll have an eye this time. We'll start at 0. And I has got to be less than the comet size. And of course, we have to increment it. Right, so now we take the array. We need the head position. We plus the eye on it, so we write along, and then we use a function in FastLED which is called set hue, and we pass it our color. And then we show it by calling FastLED .show, and the brightness we'll give it 128, half brightness. We'll delay 60 milliseconds. That's it. So hopefully bring that cam back in. That's better. Working on the fly. Let's see if it will compile. Where's my little alien? Fouled. And just to show we have problems, I missed out a semicolon there, which should make that happy. So let's see what happens now. Who's the Billy Silly? Guess who forgot? See, this is why you shouldn't write code on the fly. It gets embarrassing. Right, so that built, let's upload it. And you know what happens? We kept that. So it's doing the same thing. So let's get rid of that and move on to what we should have done. Right, so down here we should have called our comment, but we won't be able to do that without putting a spelling it right. So now we can do comet, a comet. And we pass it a number of LEDs. Nope, and we want to define we'll have 4 LEDs. Let's go let's call it using orange. That's using a fast LED colour. So then of course we want to pass in the colour and the LED array. So that's the constructor, so we should come up with a comet and pass that data to it when it's constructed, and then down in our loop all we have to do is draw the comet, and maybe this time we'll see a change. Well, that wasn't very impressive. So what we need to do now is fade out some of the LEDs as it transitions across the string to make it look more like a meteor or a comet. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into the header file for the comet, and we're going to do a private function. It doesn't return anything, and we're going to call it, what should we call it? Comet fade out. It's a good name for it. And we go to the CPP. We'll come down to here, and we'll do void comet fade out. We're going to pass it. Oh, we'll pass something to it, shall we? Until we call it comet fade amount, which means we have to go back to here, and we're doing int comet fade. Whoops. Amount. We'll go back to there because we'll make that a capital C. Right. So we need a for loop to drive something. I'm going to start at 0. Oh, better initialize it first. And we're only going to count up to the number, we're only going to fade the number of LEDs there are. So number of LEDs. I really am getting forgetful in this heat. Right, so LED array indexed by I, and we are going to copy that array again indexed by I, and we're going to use the fast LED fade to black by command, and we're going to use the comet fade amount. So hopefully that will build and we can upload it and see what happens. Wombat. Got to put it in there, haven't we? and we got to check in there. We had a int fade amount. We need to add an int amount to there. We need to add one to here as well. And then back to main. $110. It's a good place, somewhere in the middle. And we want to put that into there. Fade amount. Right. Is it going to be happy? This is the fun of just running along. Upload it again. Do you think that winging it is not a good idea? Now, doesn't that look better? Apart from that sudden stop at the end. So I don't really like that. So what we can do is when we get, that's the loop that draws it and then stops at the end. So what we can do then is we can do, let's do J this time. J's not been used much, it's getting lonely. And we want J to be less than number of LEDs. Don't forget that J wants to be incremented. So what we want to do now, we want a delay of about 60 milliseconds again. We want to fade out by our old-fashioned comet. Fade out to mount. Oops. And then fast LED dot show, and we'll do our 128 again. Oh, don't want to do that one there. It's way too hot in this room. I'm losing the will to think. Right, so there's that, and let's upload it again. That's pretty, isn't it? Getting better. So one last thing before I go. Let's play with a colour, shall we? So let's have a bite, and we'll call it colour. Keep moving the delete key. We'll call it offset. We'll have another one here. I'll put it there. Color offset. We need to put it in the constructor up there. There, so that should be happy. Oh yes, it's a bite. Color offset equals. Color offset. So that should be happy. In here, let's define. Offset, it'll make it 20. It's all good fun, we'll see what happens. This is all programming on the fly. So we'll see if it works or not. And then we get back to the comet. And all we want to do here, color plus equals offset. So it should change color as it goes around the loop. So let's upload that and see if we get any success. Well, there we go. One comet changing color and fading out at the end. Only on 17 LEDs, but maybe we'll be back for more. Maybe there'll be a part 3. If you like this video and you like videos like this, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment down below. I love comments, more the merrier, and so does the YouTube algorithm. Anyway, catch you later.